You know what really inspires me? People who look at stuff and go, you see that? I'm not gonna tolerate that, I'm gonna change it. The inventors. Imagine the first person being so bored of walking, he looks up at the sky, sees the bird and goes, this walking thing, it's dumb. I wanna fly through the air like those guys. I wanna be a bird. Or imagine the first person being so lazy, he invents the wheel just so he doesn't have to move his heaviest stuff around. That's how humans progress. And this is the next step. It's just a lot more useful. You see, it's a toy that dumps its head into your hot beverage and screams repeatedly until your drink is cold enough for you to drink, of course. I swear I can explain. We've been drinking hot shit for years, and the best way of knowing when to drink it is still just taking a sip, and if it doesn't burn the ever-living shit out of your mouth, then it's cold to drink. Just look at this research that I did. You see that? Thousands get burnt every year, and what do? We tell these poor people, you should have just waited until your drink was cooled enough. What was the big rush? You know what the big rush is? If you wait too much, your drink is gonna get too cold. And you know what's worse than wet socks? Cold tea. No, I will not tolerate this any longer. I am going to find a way. I am going to make a device that's going to tell me at the exact time my drink is ready to drink, and I'm gonna do this all on my own.
Why is it so hard?
Who the fuck knew it would be this hot? I can still do this.
Okay, don't ask me how this happened, but I just got off the phone with Noto and he somehow convinced me that making this was a good idea and that it is necessary to build something like that, and therefore I think we are going to make it. It is nothing strange though, right? We are just gonna need to find the toy, behead it, lobotomize it, put electronics in its head as you do, make it waterboard itself every 30 seconds, and then make it scream if the drink is too hot for our taste. So basically what Elon Musk is trying to achieve, but we are going to do it with toys instead of humans. I'm choosing this toy as revenge simply because I believe all of the 2020 stuff was because of these guys constantly fucking with time travel just to make a show. As one of my friends, who's actually a doctor specializing in nose surgery, says, you can't make something beautiful unless you break it into pieces first. So here we go.
So, while Ali is trying to imitate Sid from Toy Story, let's try to figure out how this whole thing works. This is a servo motor. Most shitty things you see that move have one of these things inside of it. Shitty toys, shitty robots, and of course, Earth uses one of these things to rotate around the sun. So we need to take one of these, jam it inside the head of the toy that Ali found, and it enables us to move the toy's head up and down. But on its own, this is just a torture toy, and we need to add something more. Something that, make it actually experience the agony when it screams. And this is what we use for that. We set this up inside the top of the toy's head, and it detects the heat and sends the data back to the microbit. Now, this all seems like it should be pretty easy to do, but honestly, it all depends on Ali.
3 weeks later.
Turns out, air is really not that good of a conductor. Who would have thought the thing that is used for windows insulation isn't a great heat conductor? Well, not me obviously, and you might think that this made me look for a good substitute, and to that I have only one answer. Of course, no. We are going to fill the empty spaces inside with aluminium foil because I once saw someone wrap a potato in one of these to cook it, so it has to be a good conductor, right? Time to create our hole. This, as you can already see, is a very unprofessional and dangerous way of doing it, and I might lose a couple of fingers in this process, and I have no idea why I'm risking that, but anyway. We can work with this one. Let's see if it's any better now. Turn on the microbit. And yes. Connect it to the Raspberry Pi. Connected. And okay, let's see if it changes quickly enough. Nope, it is not changing. It's not going high, so that's not good. What if I put it inside the water? Yep, now it's going up. so that works. But I think the aluminium I have covered the hole with is preventing the steam from going inside, and if I remove that, it should be much faster. So I'm gonna remove the aluminium from the top. It's time to program the microbit to turn the servo. And the microbit comes with a like drag and drop style programming interface, and we are going to use that. I'm saying write 180 degrees to pin 0. Pin 0 is this one, which is connected to the signal pin of the servo motor, as you can see, and it will write 180, so the servo will turn for 180 degrees. Download the program to the microbit, and it should be done now. It should turn the servo. Let's see. But do you know what is even better than putting the head of a plastic toy inside a very hot beverage and probably releasing toxins from plastic into what you are going to drink? That's right, making a stand for it so it can keep doing that without needing your help. This is what people were talking about when they wrote sci-fi books about 2020, right? Automatic cancer dispenser. Let me walk you through it. Let's have an overview of how the final product is going to look like. This is our hot beverage, presumably tea, and this is the head of Mr. Simpson's toy, which is going to go inside the cup and check the temperature. It will do so by the help of this servo motor, but they can't stand there in the air by themselves, so they need a stand. And the stand can't stand there by itself either, so we need a base. Now this joint on the base can be either very strong to hold all the weight, or we can alternatively add another base. The stand will go through both of these bases and will be locked in there. Let's have a look from another perspective. This is the bottom base, and this is the hole that the stand will go through. This is the top base, and this is again the hole that the stand will go through. This is our cup of tea, and this is Mr. Simpson's head. Now the stand will go through both of these holes and will be locked in there, and the motor will be attached to the top. I need to make this whole thing a bit taller, like this much, and I have two options for that. The first one is to change this whole stand, which obviously I'd rather not. The second option is to insert something between these layers so the height would increase. And I'm going to use my credit card for that. Ta-da!
So at this point, we are all probably thinking the same thing. Why are we even bothering ourselves with a humanoid toy if all it's going to do is send the data back to the computer? And you know what? You're right. What we need is something to give it some life. Something that will make it actually feel like it cares about you and your drink. Something that will make its suicidal life into your hot cup of tea more relatable. That's right, I'm going to record voice lines for it, so that it can scream. So as you can probably tell by this setup, I figured the best way of imitating someone being burnt by hot water is actually burning myself with hot water. And I know it's a genius idea, but please don't try this at home. I can't stress this enough. I'm a certified idiot, I know what I'm doing, and you really shouldn't be doing this at home at all. Here we go, I guess. Ah! Okay. That was good, I think. Ow, that actually really burns. I can try this again. I hope my neighbors don't mind. Ah! Okay, that's probably enough. I'll record the rest of this off camera. I just want to show you how these voice lines were recorded, and let's send them to Ali, I guess.
Now that we have the voice line we need, we can just go ahead and add it to the toy. I was originally planning on hiring a voice actor for this part, but this is the least Noto can do to pay me back for all of this work. Because that's how we pay each other. With pain. Anyway, this part isn't that complicated. We just add this and bada bing, bada boom. What? This is a hot glass of tea. Oh, it is hot indeed. And here we have the microbit. Let me turn it on so you can see the red light. Yep, here is the red light, and we are ready to test, baby. Let me just connect the Raspberry Pi. Nice, connection error. Try again. Okay. Some issues take hours to fix. Some take days, some take weeks. This one, I lost the count of days, and losing the count of days is the last thing you would want in a lockdown. But well, life doesn't always give you what you want, right? For instance, I just wanted to create some YouTube videos, but where has life taken me now? I miss my family, I miss my friends, I miss my mother, I miss it when life was just a party to be thrown, but that was a million years ago. Is that how people get depressed? By just leaning into songs? Alright, not gonna lie, that issue took me a couple of weeks to fix, but this is it. This is finally what it all comes down to. I'm holding in my hands what humanity has been waiting for decades, and it's time to test it now. Let me just put this hot glass of tea on top of it, and we are ready to go. This is the moment that will be known as the great test in history. As my grandfather once said, one small step for man, one stupid robot design for mankind. So let's begin. You know what that sound is? That's the sound of success.
Make it stop!
All right. Before we wrap things up, I just wanted to assure you that no one was hurt in the process of making this video. No one committed suicide whatsoever. And
hey, the ambulance is...
Oh, alright, thank you. So if you liked the video, there's a like button for it. If you have a comment, there's a comment section. If you want to see more videos like this, subscribe, and I gotta go. Thank you for watching. Nota! Nota!